90 times by 1000, all divided by 400. So that's going to be 8 times 1 is 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros over 400. I'm then going to cancel out a 0 top and bottom, 0 top and bottom. Really, I'm divided by 10 top and bottom there. And then 800 divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Add the 2 zeros in. So my answer is 200. This question here, I want to have it so that I can get a 40.2 at the bottom. So to do that, I'm going to divide that by 10. So 79 times by 40.2. Now if I've divided that side by 10, I'm going to have to divide this side by 10. So I'm going to get 3178. I'm going to mess that up. 31758, and then with a decimal point in right there. So that means that 79 would be the answer to 3175.8 divided by 40.2. Now that's the answer that I know. That's the question that I've got. What's happening between these two? The relationship between these two is that this one here in the question is 10 times bigger. So I need to make this answer 10 times bigger. So the answer to that would be 790 from using the question I've used there. Expressing as a percentage means get it out of 100. At the moment, we've got 45 out of 150. To get that as a percentage, I need to make it out of 100. So to do that, I'm going to look at either, say, the number that goes inside from there, which isn't really obvious, and it's got to be times by something or divided by something here. I'm going to times it by 2, because I know that's 300 there, and I'm going to times that by 2 to keep it as an equivalent fraction. So that's 90 out of 300. But now, to make that into 100, I'm going to divide top and bottom by 3. So 3 divided by 100, sorry, 300 divided by 3 would be 100, and then 90 divided by 3 would be 30. 30 out of 100 is 30%. Okay? So, this one says which one of these fractions is closest to 2/5. Now look at these fractions here. All of them need to have the same bottom. So, 20, 8 doesn't go into 20, so I know it can't be 20. So the next one up in the 20 times, I'm choosing 20 since the biggest one there is 40. 8 does go into 40, 10 goes into 40, and 5 goes into 40. So I'm going to change this 2/5 into something out of 40. I times that by 8, so that means I need to times that by 8. So I've got 16 out of 40. I've got to get as close to 16 out of 40 as possible on the others. So 7 out of 20 would be equal to what out of 40? The answer is 40. 3 out of 8 is equal to what out of 40? The answer, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. The answer is 15. And then 3 out of 10 is the same as what out of 40? The answer is 12. So which one of those is closest to 16? That one there, so that's my answer. The next question I've got is a scatter graph question. It asked me to write down the height of the heaviest of the 15 people. So the heaviest person is the person with the most weight, not with the biggest height. So the heaviest person is this dot here. So that person was 76 kilograms. Oh, hang on, the heaviest, write down the height. They didn't ask me to that. That person was a weight of 76 kilograms, but a height of 170 centimeters. Write down the weight of the shortest of the people. Now, the shortest person was this person here, and their weight was 50 kilograms. It says write down the type of correlation shown in this scatter graph, and that would be a positive correlation. You can just say positive. By eye, draw a line of best fit. Now, that still means using a pen, and well, using a pencil and a ruler. Okay, don't do this by eye. We need to get the same amount of points each side of the line. So on a quick count there, 15 people, I should have about 7 above my line. It needs to follow the general trend of the data. So when I cover that up, I'm just going to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that for me would be a good line. Look at that, I'm quite happy with that. It's a common misconception that this needs to hit that. It doesn't, it's fine to hit there. It then says estimate the weight of a person of height 160 centimeters. So from 160, there. So that is 58 kilograms. Okay?
Mason, come here.
Next question. Write down the output when the input is x. I put in x, I multiply it by 8. So that is x times by 8. Now because I did that first, I need to put brackets around it. I then need to subtract 5. I could have also written 8x minus 5 would have also been accepted. When the input is y, sorry, find the input when the output is y. So y has come out here. So we're going to do the opposite of subtracting 5, which is adding 5, which is plus 5. But because I've done that first, I'm going to put brackets around it. And then instead of multiplying by 8, I'm going to divide by 8. So I just say divided by 8 there, or I could have written y plus 5 all over 8. This question says, find the nth term of a sequence, or the nth term of a sequence is n squared minus 6. Find the first 3 terms of the sequence. So we change the n to open brackets, and we sub in 1 for the first term. For the second term, we sub in 2. And for the third term, we sub in 3. So 1 squared is 1, take away 6 is minus 5. 2 squared is 4, take away 6 is minus 2. And 3 squared is 9, take away 6 is 3. Good luck for tomorrow, guys. Okay, good luck. To work out the perimeter of the shape is the distance around the shape. So I know I go a distance of 13 there, and then I go up 8 in total across here. Now that means I must go along here. I must come 13 meters back on myself. So it's going to be 13 coming back as well. So 13 and 13. And then I go up 8 here, and I'm going to come down 8 by here as well. So it's going to be plus 8, which gives a total of 26, plus the 8 would be 34, would be 42 meters. Okay, parallel lines, we know that all these angles along here must be 40 where you have the acute angle. So 40 there and 40 there. We've got also 40 by here and 40 by here, but only along this line here, not along that line there. Now, because this is a triangle, I can see a triangle here. I know that those angles must add up to 180. So I'm going to do 85. See you in the morning. Good luck. Okay. 5 add nothing is 5. 8 add 4 is 12. That gives me those two answers there. So then I do 180, take away 125, which gives me 550. So my answer for B was 55. My answer for A was 40. The next question shows a regular 8-sided polygon. Now that regular means all sides and all angles, all angles are the same. Okay. Now that means we can do some dividing. So if it's got 8 sides, it means it's got 8 angles. Okay. Now you should know that the exterior angle is the angle on the outside, and all of the exterior angles going around a shape. If I'm going around a shape and doing a circle, all exterior angles add to 360 degrees. Okay. So I know all of these would add up to 360, and I know I have 8 because there's 8 sides. That means there's 8 angles. All angles I can divide by 8. Now, I obviously don't know how to do that, so I'm going to put that into the bus stop method. How many 8s go into 3? None. How many 8s go into 36? And the answer is 4, remainder 4. How many 8s go into 40? And the answer is 5. So my angle C is equal to 45 degrees. Reflect the shape in the line x equals 2. We'll do what it says on the tin. X, there's x, 2, there's 2. Straight line, straight through left. I'm then going to reflect that shape, which is 1, 2 away from the line there, so 1, 2 away from the line there. And it joins this bit here, and then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 away from the line, so 1, 2, 3, 4 there. And I'm going to join that up. And then this point here is 1, 2 away from the line, 1, 2 away from the line there, and then I just join them up. There and there. A translation means you just pick up the shape and you move it exactly what it says. 4 to the left and 6 down. So I'm moving this 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And I do that for every corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And then here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. Now I'm just going to join those up. There and there. Okay, the next question is a loci question, and it says find the region that are the points of nearer to B than A. So that means we're going to open the compass to more than halfway and draw an arc around each side. But then it says the points that are less than 8 centimeters from A. So what I'm going to do is kill two birds with one stone and open my compass to 8 centimetres. So we've got the centimetres on this side. There's 8, point on 8, and then pencil on 0. And the way I like to use the compass is I move the paper rather than moving the compass. So I hold right by the point on 8. I'm just going to move my paper like that. Okay, much easier. I do the same with B. There. Okay, now I'm nearly done with this question already. Where these two lines intersect, or where they cross, I put my ruler through it and I draw a straight line coming all the way to the edge of the paper, but not into where it says examiner only. And then it said, and anywhere along this line cuts exactly this line in half. Now it said it wanted the points nearer to B, so everything nearer to B is this side of the line. But it said it also had to be less than 8 centimetres from A, so it had to be this side of this arc. So that would mean that it is this area here. Okay, the algebra page we should be feeling quite confident on. We're expecting to pick up all of these 8 marks. So expanding the bracket, I still like to draw the arrows even now. I get 8x plus 12 plus 9x, but I get minus 24. 8x plus 9x is 17x, plus 12 take away 24 is minus 12. Y times y cubed is y to the power of 4. Really, that's y with a little 1 there, and you add the indices, plus 7y. To solve this equation, we're going to take 7 off each side. So we get x over 3 is equal to 5. And to get rid of the over 3, I'm going to times by 3. So I get x is equal to 50. I'm then going to expand this bracket as well to get 6y plus 15 equals 45. I'm then going to take 15 off each side. So 6y is equal to 30. I'm then going to divide each side by 6. So I get y is equal to 5. Okay, then it says numbers of dots on the opposite faces adds up to 7. The 4 top faces, or the top faces of the dice have 1 dot and 4 dots. What is the product of the number of dots on the bottom faces? Okay, so product just means multiply. Okay, now if that's 1, this number here must be 6, because we know that the pips, that's what they're called on the dice, they add up to 7. So 1 adds 6 makes 7. And if this one's 4, then this one must have been 3, because 4 add 3 makes 7. So the question it's asking me is, what is 6 times 3? And the answer would be 18. This one says, calculate the probability that both dice land with their top faces showing 2 dots. Okay, so showing 2 dots, I think that's just asking me to say, what's the chances that it shows 2 dots? 1 out of 6. And the other one also has to do that, so we times these, so 1 out of 6 times 1 out of 6, which would be 1 out of 36.
This one,
okay. The next question says, what is the probability, complete the probability tree. What is the chances that I throw a 6 on the dice? Well, that is also 1 out of 6. This would be 5 out of 6, because 1 out of 6 plus 5 out of 6 adds up to 1. This would also be 5 out of 6, 1 out of 6, and 5 out of 6 here. It says calculate the probability that in the 2 throws, Carl throws exactly 1 6. So exactly 1 6. Well, here he throws a 6 and another 6. No, not interested. Here's a 6, not a 6. Yes, that's exactly 1 6. Not a 6 and a 6. Yes, that's exactly 1 6. Here, not a 6 and not 6. He doesn't get 6 either time. So I need to do 1 out of 6 times by 5 out of 6 here, from this branch here, which is 5 out of 36. I need to do 5 out of 6 times by 1 out of 6 to get 5 out of 36. Now there are 2 different options that I can get. So what I do is I add those 2 together. So 5 out of 36 add 5 out of 36 comes to 10 out of 36 to get those 5 marks. Over the page here, bit of a nasty question here with the graph. So they've given us a minus number. So I'm just going to change the x to open brackets to begin with. Okay, and I'm also going to write by here a plus and a plus times is to make a plus and a minus, a minus and a plus, a minus, and a minus is a plus. Minus 2 goes in there. And this means minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. So minus 2 times minus 2 times minus 2. That's what that bracket's telling me to do. Minus times minus is a plus, so that is plus 4. Plus 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. So 4 times by minus 8 is minus 32. I then want to add on 10. Minus 32 adding 10 would take me to minus 22. This one here would be much more simple. 4 lots of 1 cubed plus 10. 1 cubed is 1, times by 4 is 4, add 10 is 14. Much more simple. Now I need to plot these things here, so I need to work out the scale. So 20 in a jump there with 5 little squares tells me each tiny little square is worth 4. So -3 and -98. So -3, now there's -100, but if I come up there, that's -96. So -98 would be in the middle of those two. -2 and -22. So I'm taking all these from my table up here. There's -20, there's -24, so it would be in the middle of those two there. -1 and 6, so that's going to be 4, 8, so 6 again is still in the middle. It's a horrible scale they're giving you to work with. And then 0 and 10, so that's going to be bang in the middle of 0 and 20, which is going to be 2.5 squares up. And then 1 and 14, so still in the middle. It's really annoying, the scale. So 4, 8, 12, 16, so that must be there in the middle of 12 and 16. And then 2 and 42, so halfway up there. And then 3 and 118, they're all in the middle of the squares. That's a really nasty question. And now you need to do a freehand curve, but you should be using a pencil, not a pen during this time. Use your graph to find the value for which it equals 60. Now, 60 there, where's 60 on the graph? Here. Where is it 60? All you do is you draw a line straight across and you pick out that value there. Okay, that value is 2.2. Don't worry if you don't get that. It's a hard question. If you get it, great. If you don't, it's not a massive issue. Express 324 as a product of its prime factors. So what numbers do we know times to make 324? Well, the answer has to be 2 because it's even. And then I'm going to say 320 and 4. I'm going to halve each of them individually. So you get 150, 10, and 2. That comes to 162. I'm then going to halve that. That's a bit easier to halve this time. And get 2 and 81. And then 81 is 9 times 9. To make 9 times 9, 3, 3, 3, and 3, and they are all prime numbers. To then write that in index form, I'm going to say 324 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Don't really write in this bit in your exam because it says examiner only. Don't actually write in there tomorrow. And then we'd get that in index form would be 2 squared times 3 to the power of 4. It says, for the next part, is 648 a square number? Now, they're looking for you to use your answer from this bit here. What's the link between that and that? Well, it is 2 times 324. Now, I know what this is in terms of products of prime factors. It's 2 times 2 squared times 3 to the 4. Now, this 2 is really 2 to the power of 1. So when I times them, we add the indices to get 2 cubed times by 3 to the power of 4. So the answer is no, as its powers are not even. That's the definition that we need to have for being a square number. Powers are even if it is a square number, powers are not even if it's not square. Simplify each of the following. 5 times 4 is 20. X to the power of 4 times by x to the power of 5 would be x to the power of 9. You add the indices for this bit. And this has really got a 1. X to the power of 6 times by, y to the power of 6 times by y to the power of 1 would be y to the power of 7. 50 divided by 10, that's 5. A to the power of 6 divided by a cubed, you take away the powers to get a cubed. And then b, this is really to the power of 1. Take away 3 would be b to the power of minus 2. Nothing wrong with leaving it in that form. Similar shapes, if you can spot it, what have I done to this 7 to make it 21? I've times it by 3. So that means to turn it back, I'm dividing by 3. So what I need to do to work this one out is do 4.2 times 3 to work out y. 4.2 times 3 to work out y. 4 times 3 is equal to 12. 0.2 times 3 is 0.6. So my answer is 12.6 for y. And then to turn it back, I need to do 15 divided by 3. 15 divided by 3 is equal to 5. So x is equal to 5. This question here, I'm skipping. This question here, I'm definitely doing 4 marks. There are 2 very easy graphs. This one is not as easy as normal, and this one here, not as easy as well, but are doable, certainly getting some marks here. So let's draw the first 2 easy ones. Y is less than or equal to 4. To find the y-axis, find where it's 4. So we've got to work out the scale. It's a jump of 5 in 10 little squares. So that means each little square is worth 0.5. So there's 5, 4.5, 4. Y is equal to 4 will be along this line here. I'm going to write that by the side, y equals 4. X is less than or equal to 3. There's 2, there's 4, there's 3 on the x-axis. Comes straight through that value there. So x is equal to 3. This one here, x plus y plus 6, and we ignore the inequality, we just say it's equal to 0. Now I just want to have x and y on this side, so I'm going to have x plus y is equal to minus 6, and this is saying think of two numbers that add up to make minus 6. So I could have minus 6 add 0, so x being minus 6, y being 0. I could have 0 and minus 6 there. I could have minus 3 and minus 3, and I've got three coordinates now, and I'm going to plot them. So 6 and 0 there, 0 and 6 would be by there, and then minus 3 and minus 3. Oh, hang on, I plotted 6, positive 6, I plotted in the wrong place. Minus 6 on x would be here, and 0 on the y, and then minus 6 on y would be down here, and then minus 3, and then minus 3 would be by here. Okay, so does my ruler go through all 3 points? It does. So draw a straight line going to the edge of each graph paper. So this is x plus y equals minus 6. And then finally, this one here, I need to draw an xy table for. So x, we always choose 1, 2, and 3. We may have some nasty numbers though with that. We can maybe think of another way of doing it if it doesn't work out nicely. And then x over 2 plus 4. So that is 1 over 2, that's a half, plus 4 is 4.5, 4.5. This would be 2 over 2, which is 1. Add 4 is then 5, and then 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, add 4 is 5.5. So x is 1, and then 4.5, so that one there, 2 and 5, so that one there, and then 3 and 5.5, so that one there. Does my ruler go through all 3 points? It does, so draw a line going through those points there. Now, you can use the inequalities to actually prove where this area is, but I'm just going to have a guess for now, okay? I know because there's 4 lines, it's got to be a 4-sided shape. So I'm looking for a 4-sided shape, and I can spot it here. So I make it up to this line here. There, I make it that thing there. Okay, now I would go through that really, really thoroughly if I was teaching it for the first time, but I'm not. We're just practicing for the exam now. So by all means, pause the video, ask me in school tomorrow, but I'm not going to go through all of it. And to clearly represent my region, I'm just going to put an R there. Okay, now I'm pretty much done on this paper. Those are the key concepts, and I'm going to have a quick add up of how many marks we've done during this session. So if I go through that paper, we got 2, 3, 5, 8, and then we got 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we've got an 8 already, so that's now 13. That's now 18 with another 5. That's now 20. Blank page, no marks on the blank page, unfortunately. So 20, now we're on 25. 2 there, 2 there, now we're on 29. Here, 3 marks there, so now we're on 32. Here was 8 marks, so that is now 40. And a 4 gives me 44. And the 5 there gives me 49. With the 6 there, that gives me 55. 55, 60, 64. 68 marks. And almost done. 68 marks, 72 marks I've gone through. So I hope that's proved useful just as a little bit of last minute revision if you were stuck on it.